Hello friends, myself R.D. Mahajan, Assistant Professor MIT Aurangabad, presenting my video on Engineering Mathematics 2 Unit 1st Complex Number. I am going to present the videos on the following topic. First, a definition and geometrical representation of that complex number. Second, De Moivre's theorem. Third point, roots of complex number. Fourth, circular function of complex number. Next, hyperbolic function of complex number. Then, a relation between circular and hyperbolic function. Real and imaginary parts of circular and hyperbolic function. And the last point, logarithm of complex number. Therefore, in my first video, I will discuss about the definition of complex number and its geometrical representation. Therefore, we try to define of the form x plus iy, where x and y are numbers and I is equals to root of minus 1 a complex number. Where x is the real part of that number, complex number z, and y is called as imaginary part. In short, we write down a real part of z as x and imaginary part of that complex number as y, and that complex number z we denote as x plus iy, or we can write z as a plus ib. Where a is the real part and b is the imaginary part of that complex number. Graphical representation of complex number. With reference to this figure, in xy coordinate system, we take a point P with the coordinate as x and y. Vector OA, its magnitude is x. Vector AP, magnitude is y. Vector OP is called as a radius vector, making an angle theta with the x-axis, positive x-axis. Graphical representation of complex number. If complex number is x represented by point in a plane, then that graphical representation is called as Argand diagram. Therefore, this is the Argand diagram, graphical representation of that complex number. In xy plane, we take a point P with the coordinate x and y. Joining that point P with this O origin, we get radius vector OP, whose magnitude is r. Vector OA, its magnitude is x. Vector AP, its magnitude is y. Then that complex number z x plus iy be the given complex numbers. Then from that figure we have vector OA as x, vector AP as y. Then as per vector addition we get vector OP as vector OA plus vector AP. Vector OP, if represent that complex number z, then it is vector OA x, vector AP as IY. Therefore and that vector OP is making an angle theta with the positive x-axis. Tan theta is equals to opposite side by adjacent side, therefore it is y upon x, and therefore we get theta is equals to tan inverse of y by x, and the magnitude of that vector OP is r, is root of x square plus y square. If this is the 90-degree angle. Then we try to define two important terms from complex number. The first one is the modulus of z and the second one is amplitude of z. If z is equal to x plus iy, then mod of z is defined as mod z is root of xy plus y square. If x is the magnitude of that vector OA, y is the magnitude of vector AP, then by the addition of that two vector we get vector OP as root of x square plus y square. That is called as a mod of z. Then second term is the amplitude of z. If the theta is the angle made by that radius vector with positive x-axis, then amplitude of that complex number z is theta, and it is defined as tan inverse of y by x. Therefore, remember these two important definitions or the terms from complex number. And the second one, amplitude of z is equals to theta, and that value is tan inverse of y by x. Okay. Then we try to see the polar form that is the angle made by that radius vector with positive x-axis. From figure we have sin theta is equals to front side, that is y, divided by that hypotenuse r. It implies we get y is equals to r sin theta, cos theta as adjacent side by hypotenuse, therefore it is x by r. It gives you x is equals to r cos theta, and therefore if we put that values in the complex number z as x plus iy, we get x means r cos theta plus I times y is r sin theta. And therefore we get z is equals to from this two term I can take r common. It is cos theta plus I sin theta. And this form is called as the polar form with complex number. Polar means in terms of r and theta. Therefore, z is equal to x plus iy is the Cartesian form, and polar form is z is equal to r into cos theta plus I sin theta, where the value of r is root of x square plus y square, and the value of theta is tan inverse of y by x. This is called as the polar form. Then I try to explain general polar form of complex number. What will happen if we rotate this vector OP by a 360 degree? We get the same position for that vector OP. Means if we change that angle theta by 360 degree, means it is 2 pi. We get the same position of that vector OP, means that number remains same. If we rotate it once again by that angle of 360 degree, means if we make the rotation, first time it is for 360 means 2 pi, then we rotate it by again 360, it is 4 pi. Then if we rotate it by 6 pi like this, means if we put n is equals to here 1, 2, 3, so on, we get the same vector OP for every rotation that position, and therefore if we replace theta by that 2n pi multiple of 2 pi, n equals to 1, 2, 3, we get the same position, and that form is called as a general polar form. And therefore once again I have written here 3 different forms. When we write z is equal to x plus iy, is called as a Cartesian form of complex number. X is the real part, y is the imaginary part of that complex number. The same number we have converted, I have converted it into polar form by replacing x is equals to r cos theta and y as r sin theta. Taking r common, we get z is equals to r multiplied by cos theta plus I sin theta. In terms of r and theta, therefore it is called as a polar form. And general polar form, if we rotate that vector by 360 degree, and for each rotation we get the same position of that vector OP with same complex number we have, and therefore we get z is equals to r cos of 2n pi plus theta. Theta is changed by a multiple of 2 pi, where n changes from 1, 2, 3, so on. For every rotation we get the same position of that vector OP, means that complex number remains the same, and therefore this form is called as a general polar form, where theta is replaced by 2n pi. First one, if z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1 and second number z2 is equals to x2 plus iy2, then conjugate of z1 is x1 minus iy1 and conjugate of z2 is x2 minus iy2. Second property, if z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1 and z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2, these two complex numbers are equal, then real part of first is equals to real part of second, and imaginary part of first is equals to imaginary part of second, or vice versa. If real parts are equal and imaginary parts are equal, then that two complex numbers are said to be equal. Third one, if that is arithmetic using complex number, z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1 and z2 as x2 plus iy2, then the addition of that two complex number is addition of that two complex number by performing addition of real part plus addition of imaginary part. Z1 minus Z2 is x1 minus x2 plus I times y1 minus y2. Subtraction of real part and subtraction of imaginary part. Third arithmetic, a product of two complex number z1 into z2. z1 is x1 plus iy1 multiplied by another complex number x2 plus iy2. Performing term by term multiplication, we get x1 x2 first real part, first real term, and iy1 into iy2, I square is minus 1, therefore it is minus y1 y2. In the first bracket we get a real part of that product plus I times we get x1 y2 and plus y1 x2. Therefore this is the product of that two complex number. And then division of two complex number, x1 plus iy1 first complex number divided by second complex number x2 plus iy2. And to perform it, to simplify it, we have to multiply and divide by the conjugate of the second term, the second number. The conjugate of that is x2 minus iy2 and divided by the same number x2 minus iy2. And then perform the multiplication of that two brackets term by term, and in denominator we have a plus b and a minus b, that product as a square minus b square. If you are watching my videos, please like and share it, as well as subscribe to my channel for new videos or latest updates. Thank you very much.